All right, welcome everyone. My name is Keith Lober, and you are joining the Student Zone wrap-up session. I'm the Director of Student Developer Programs, which means my team gets to create and manage fun things like the Imagine Cup, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, and Azure for Students. Before we get started, let me just remind you of the Code of Conduct, which is a whole lot of words to say, be nice. I'm honored to introduce our hosts for the next 30 minutes or so. First, she's been the host of the Student Zone for the last 45 plus hours and is the creator and host of the Fablab on YouTube. Welcome, Crazy Aunt Lindsay. And joining her is the cloud advocate, well known with students, Chloe Condon. Chloe, Lindsay, over to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Chloe.
I see we both coordinated our bows this morning without even talking.
Knowing it must be that Miss Frizzle energy.
Yes. How has your build been so far? Is this your first build?
This is my absolute first build. Build has been amazing. Your session with Misty, Misty the robot, and April, Vogan Code, amazing.
It's been really fun to see so many projects that have been very creative and involve other backgrounds and other industries and other hobbies and interests into technology. Because I know musical theater holds a special near and dear place to my heart as well as yours. And that's a little sneak peek for what we're going to talk about later. But what have been some of your favorite projects that you've seen?
Honestly, I don't come from a coding background, so anything that teaches coding, I was in on 2 of InstaFluff's sessions. Killer. Anything with Scott Hanselman. I was up super late the other night watching Scott Hanselman and Luann Murphy, who we're going to hear from and see a little bit later after this session. So stay tuned for those 2 sessions. Chloe will tell you more about that in a second. But it was just, Scott is just such a personality. InstaFluff is one of my favorite, actually he's my absolute favorite live coder on Twitch. So it's just been a real treat all around. How about you?
Ooh, well, I really loved Jen Looper's kind of DIY terrariums because I love making real life terrariums because I'm a very crafty person. So to see how to do that with JavaScript was incredible. I'm really excited to make my own terrarium.
Yeah, I saw all the activity on Twitter from her session. I absolutely loved it. I wasn't able to make it, so I'm so pumped that you did. It was, yeah, so cool.
Yeah, and we'll have all of the videos available for folks to see after build. So I'm really excited to catch up because there's just so much content.
And is that going to be on the GitHub or is that something else?
That will be on the GitHub, and we will definitely be sharing those links with y'all. And then we still have more sessions today, if you can believe it. We're still going. It's 5:30 in the morning here, where I am.
Here where I am.
So good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're tuning in with us. And we still have a couple more sessions. As Lindsay mentioned, we have Scott Hanselman and Luann Murphy are doing a session right after this. And also InstaFluff is doing another session. So check out aka.ms/students@build to get all of those repos and information. We'll be posting all of the videos there. I've got a lot of content to catch up on.
Speaking of a lot of content to catch up on, I think you just met my kitty cat.
I saw a cameo.
There have been so many cameos. That's also a highlight. Just circling back for 2 seconds about highlights.
Yeah.
There have been so many pets, so many adorable children of all the Microsoft people who have been giving sessions. It's been so fun to watch parents and families negotiate the goings-on of their house. So I've been seeing on Twitter quite a few of the favorite moments that we've been having with the Microsoft family and community. So
we've got cats, we've got robots, we've got kids, we've got it all.
Speaking of content, I think we've got something super special to set up. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness. Well, as people may or may not know, I have a background in musical theater. I did musicals for many, many years. Mm-hmm. So when these folks, so we, of course, are going to be speaking with the lovely, lovely interns who created Microsoft the Musical, which, Lindsay, I cannot tell you how many times I was tagged in this tweet. People were sending me this video in my DM saying, did you have something to do with this? My first question is going to be, where was my audition?
That is
But something I love about this is we're going to play the video for you all in a second here, but the messaging here in the video is so wonderful, and I'm going to read it for y'all. It says, Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. We hope that this speaks to every person who dreams of being a part of something big, and especially to those who've been wrongly told they can't be. As someone at some point, we were all in your shoes. You can, you should, and you will. That hits home so much.
So good. That certainly speaks to the mission that I have as a kid science show host on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube/the Fablab HQ. And also you. I mean, I love, there was a series going around on Twitter not long ago that was talking about what a technologist looks like. And it was so amazing to meet you because you don't look like what a technologist should look like, but you're awesome at what you do, and you're bringing so many people along. And I just love that that's a part of the heart and mission of Microsoft, and of course, what helped create this awesome musical we're about to see.
Yeah, well, as my shirt says, I always excel. I'm throwing a little Microsoft pun on the shirt.
One.
All right. Well, shall we watch this video? I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
So the volume may be a little down for people, so pump up the volume, just pump up the jams. It's early. Get your day started or ended with a musical, and take it away, Microsoft, the musical. Transition music, transition music.
The world wasn't always the way it is today. Here's a dream that changed the world and how it came to stay. There once was a lad whose eyesight was bad, but his vision was crystal clear. He had no instruction, production, nor junction at which he could ask a peer. He looked a line that was clearly defined and declined to align by its rigid design. But instead he sought to differ from those stifling narrow straits. He then became a household name in all the 50 states. His rise to fame was so ordained, now written by the
Chloe?
He changed the world forever, and his name was Bill Gates.
Oh, okay. I thought something happened to my computer. Okay.
Okay.
I have to do this from home and not my studio where my hardwire and just like far superior Wi-Fi is. So when you went away, I was like, I also lost my brush, which was really fun. It's fine. How does this look? Does this look too intimate?
No, you're good.
Is the lighting okay?
Great.
Now it's so much more than
It's too bad we couldn't have like a Misty the Robot cameo and do an interview with her.
it may have taken an idea of pure caffeine.
We can do it for another show, for sure.
Maybe that's what we do.
Chloe
Yeah.
Lindsay, we can hear you.
Windows is the bet on which this company was made, and everything else followed from the dividends it paid. We missed a beat with Vista, but we'd be remiss to list a set of systems that assist the world without our name displayed. One thing we were missing was a laptop that was nice, so we redesigned an industry, and then we did it twice. We titled it the Surface, both descriptive and concise. Why buy two devices when a Surface would suffice? We modernize the office, we admit we do it well. As documents and spreadsheets, we exceed, no, we excel. To steal the show with PowerPoint, and that we take our pride. To all our competition, we say thank you. Next slide, it's all happening here. The standard for your office and your home. It's all happening here. All around the world, our products are known. Except for when we try to make a phone.
We leveled up with Xbox, you could say that we upgraded. Long-awaited, high-rated, custom games we generated. See the 4K visuals, they're redefining digital. If you think you know Vista, we'll get ready for a twister full of turning, training, swerving, gaining. Closer on our competition, sliding, drifting, gliding, shifting up to first from pole position. Jumping into Minecraft Java, leaping over pools of lava. Laws of Newton get no say here. Let your wildest dreams come play here. Every late night laughing off and every weekend day feel best to us because we're helping every gamer play. So with controllers we pursue a promise kept and true. Our systems work for all our games and more for every you. It's all happening here. Oh, we can take the cake and break the mold. It's all happening here. So if you're going for the gold or getting tall by an 8-year-old, like your story stages all above.
Race to see the future seeks to redefine reality. In HoloLens augmented, it refashion rationality. Be anywhere, see anything, and even for the trope. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are my only hope. Azure is the backbone of our business operations, a public cloud compliant platform for your applications. In Seattle, they're complaining. It's really entertaining. There's so much cloud computing here, of course it's always raining. Our computing's going quantum. It'll never be the same. No longer 2 bits, we're working with qubits. We're changing up the game. Superposition and quantum entanglement, keeping it cool like the vacuum of space. Of our own volition, we wanted to wrangle with reaching the limits and changing their place. And if you thought all that was cool, you'll never believe what's in here. It's all happening here. Our machines are smart and getting smarter still. It's all happening here. All the sparks and pearls, you know it's nothing up to scale. We'll never match our clippy strength of will.
How is it that everyone here does so much?
I know, right? I don't get it. Maybe there's something in the water.
Hi, may I please have a latte and an extra shot of whatever ingredient it is that makes people here so successful?
There is no special ingredient. Everybody brings their own.
There's someone out there somewhere playing Minecraft with her friends, and another doesn't have computer classes to attend, and someone still who doesn't see a role model who looks like them. To any kid who played pretend, to you the song extends. To anyone thinking they don't fit the mold, who feel insecure because of what they've been told.
Told that they shouldn't, they're fidgety, thoughtful, or upshy demeanor.
Or told that she can't because she's bossy or bold or she's too big a dreamer. Well, tell them they should, and tell her she will, because there once was a dreamer named Bill. And now it's all happening here. Now it's so much more than just a dream. It's all happening here. Started as a personal machine. More than personal gadgets, it's the goal that makes magic. To empower every person on the planet with a plan that helps them realize and maximize their dreams to change the world and share their resilience, brilliance, because there are millions of people who they will inspire. There's a lot that we don't know, but we do know when you grow. Your dreams will be the dreams that will appear, and all of it will happen here, because anything can happen here.
Lindsay, Chloe, back over to you.
Wow, that was amazing. Lindsay, I don't know about you, but I know how much effort and time and energy goes into writing, producing, choreographing. Oh my gosh, doing the songs. This is a feat.
And I can't wait to meet the crew that is responsible for this because I need to know where to get those sequence jackets. Okay.
Amen. Amen. Well, welcome. We have a couple of the interns here who worked on this. Welcome, everyone. Yay.
So we have here.
Hello.
Hello. So it's great to see you, Morgan Dukes. We've got Swetha.
Hello.
I think we're going to be joined by Liam. I can't see him on my screen. So hi to Liam if he's joined us.
Hello. Good morning, y'all.
Morning, y'all.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having us.
Okay, so question number 1. How long did this take to make? Because this is more high quality than many of the college productions I did. So I would love to know, how did this begin and how long did it take y'all?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. Thank you for putting a spotlight on this musical and for showcasing this work. It's really exciting to be here and to learn that this project is continuing to make waves and get to be shared with other people. In terms of the timeline, I think it was about 8 weeks. Liam can probably talk about this too. We started in early July with the planning, and then in early September is when it was released to the public. So it was a very, very fast sprint all the way through.
Wow. I think that I have had food in my fridge longer than that. So that's incredible. And let's go around and kind of get some introductions from folks. Liam, do you want to start out?
Yeah, so I'm.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Morgan, go for it.
Go for it, Morgan.
Okay, I'm Morgan Dukes. I recently graduated from Florida A&M University. I've been an intern at Microsoft 2 times, once on the cloud marketing team and then on the brand strategy team. And then I'll be going back in the fall as a product marketing manager. So I'm really excited about that. And on this project, I was the production manager.
Wow. I'm still in awe. I was writing in the Skype chat. I was like, that double pirouette, this choreography. It's so good. It's so tight.
Swetha, why don't you go next?
Sure. So my name is Swetha Prabhakaran. I just finished my 3rd year at UC Berkeley. I've got another year left to go. Last summer, I was an intern in Redmond with the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center, and I was the choreographer and co-director for the musical.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for the high praise.
The pirouettes.
And hi, good morning. My name is Liam McGregor. Last summer I was an intern with data science, and I was also the producer, co-writer, and co-director of Microsoft Musical. I am graduating from Stanford in a couple weeks, and having studied economics and computer science, I'll be going back to Microsoft to be a full-time data scientist in the fall.
Woo, some coworkers on the call. So exciting.
Congratulations on this amazing success you guys are experiencing both in your private life and then with this video. How does it feel I'm only going to assume that this is the 3 of yours, maybe first foray into internet content. How does it feel to have a viral video on your first try? 300,000 views, almost 350,000 views in just several months. September was not long ago. How does it feel?
It feels great. And I mean, the main idea was to reach people sort of around the world who might not see this otherwise. And the exciting thing is actually, it has double that on LinkedIn too. So it's
Excuse me.
Yeah. It feels really great.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the video right now on YouTube, and there's a comment here that says, "Who else really expected the barista to be Bill Gates?" So maybe for the revival, you can have me and Bill Gates, make a cameo or something. I'll talk to our agent.
Perfect.
And there's so many names attached to this. I'm looking here at the credits and just how many people contributed. Was it difficult to find folks within Microsoft who had musical skills and talent to contribute? Because it looks like there's a lot of folks in this video and involved with this video.
Yeah, speaking of casting, I would love to hear about that too. If you can tack that answer on or incorporate that, that'd be great to hear from Matt.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, there are 40,000 people at Microsoft's Redmond campus. Which is, I guess, the first bit of good news. And the second bit of good news is that Microsoft has people who come from all different, parts of life. And so, I mean, there was one person who is the orchestra, the first violinist in like the in the Seattle Symphony Orchestra, and she does that in the evening. Then she works at Microsoft during the day, and there were people who have all kinds of different backgrounds. Morgan, what was your perspective on casting?
Yeah, I think it was a really fun experience, and it was a really great eye opener to me just to see how everyone from Microsoft is so talented. Like, you can work at Microsoft and still play the guitar, play the piano. Like, there's so many different things that you can do, and I think it just goes to show that you can still pursue your passions even though you're at a place like Microsoft.
Yeah. And did you all do musical theater or some kind of performance, obviously before your internship, but I can assume that from this video, but do you feel that you use those skills in your day-to-day now, in your lives in technology, in your different internships and at school?
Yeah. So actually at Cal, I'm a double major in computer science and dance and performance studies. And as far as we can tell, I'm the first person on campus to try to make that double major happen.
Yeah, you are.
A lot. People ask me a lot. They're like, there's not really anything in common between the two at first glance. But what I've learned between like balancing these two passions over the years is there's actually a lot of similarity in the types of frameworks you're using, the types of thought processes, and plus all those like core skills about like working together with a team and having to decide, a creative or like a business vision. Like all of those types of skills carry over between the two really easily. And something I would tell my manager a lot last summer, because I was an engineering and program manager intern at the same time, was that I was basically just being a program manager for a different part of the company when I was working on this project. That was part of how I convinced him to let me work on this. It wasn't a particularly difficult sell. He was all for it.
Yeah, I love that you're double majoring in that. I feel like Elwood's walked so we could run.
Yeah, it's funny. That's a great answer. Hey, Morgan and Liam, I'd love to hear from you two. What outside of your coding tech life are you pulling from? What are the things that are kind of in your lives that aren't necessarily directly connected to your working careers that are maybe a little bit fun and might inform some innovation?
Yeah, I think growing up, I always did theater, and that was always a big part of my life. So just coming onto this project in general was great because I got to kind of get back into that zone of performing and being around a bunch of creative people. But I think as far as informing my work life, I think, like Swetha said, that teamwork side is really important. The ability to think creatively and problem solve. A lot of time when you're performing, like things happen and you have to adjust and think really quickly in order to solve the problem.
Improv.
And so being able to use that skills. Exactly. So making all that happen was
like a
really
studio
good,
in your house because your Uber didn't show up? Sure.
Exactly.
Fair?
And then growing up, I was a classical guitarist. I was a competitive classical guitarist, and so I had that sort of, I guess, classical instrument upbringing. But then I also had sort of a theater background where I'd done a bunch of shows in high school. And then in college, I've been part of this a cappella group that does original music, and so I was composing and writing and singing and doing those things too.
Okay, Glee.
Competitive classical guitaring.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting because, I of course did, the singing, dancing, acting thing, but I see so many crossovers. Like PMs are like stage managers for tech. There's just so much crossover of, choreography and set design is very, very similar to like putting together the different pieces that create an app. So it fills my heart with joy. I'm not upset anymore that you didn't fly me out to Redmond and ask me to make a cameo in this video. Next time, you have my number now. We'll get me in there. Lindsay, you too. You can come and be in it.
Everyone knows I graduated high school with National Thespian Honors, so I'm official.
Perfect.
It's an accident that we are all secretly theater kids.
Well, I can't wait for reach out to us. We'll do Fablab the musical. We'll hire you all as producers.
They may not be planning that as we speak.
Ooh,
sounds really fun. We do have a few questions from the audience that I'd love to ask everyone here. So, how many different shoot locations were there, and whose idea was it?
Ooh, yeah. It looks like it. I recognized a lot of the buildings on the Redmond campus. I was like, oh, I've been there. I've sat there and had coffee.
There were I think 8 or 10 different locations at the end of the day. It was all over Microsoft's Redmond campus. And actually everything, including like the bedroom, was a conference at the beginning, was a conference room that we'd repurposed. There are a lot of cool places around Microsoft campus.
Did you get a lot of crazy looks from people being like, what are those interns doing over there dancing and smiling?
So you led dance rehearsals in the mornings, right?
Yeah, I think it might have gotten a little bit easier once we were filming because there was like the big camera rig and the lights, and it was very clearly like a production was being made. But during the time when we were scoping out locations, during that process, it was myself and the cinematographers who were going around. I'd say to at least probably like 20 or so buildings before the final set of like 8 to 10 locations were chosen. That was just 3 people with a camera, like yelling at each other in the mornings. And then when we were doing dance rehearsals, it was just like 10 people dancing in a hallway. And that definitely got some strange looks, especially for things like the staircase shot that you see in the beginning of the second verse.
Yeah.
Like planning that out got so many weird looks. I think that was like building 18 or building 84. And we'd be in there at like 6 a.m. in the morning. And like, that's when people were a little weirded out.
Why they have all those rainbow umbrellas? What's going on?
That's awesome. Another question from the audience. What was something that pleasantly surprised you about interning at Microsoft?
Ooh, good question.
I think that they let us do this musical. Like, I think coming into this internship, I never would have guessed that I would have been working on anything musical related. So to be able to work at a place that allows you to pursue your passions along with your day job was just great and really surprising for me.
Absolutely.
I've been a 2-time intern at Microsoft. And I was a PM intern one summer, and then I was a data science intern the next summer. And Microsoft led the industry in this sort of like VIP tech industry experience that like Google and Facebook and everybody else sort of copied and tried to like create as well. But I think Microsoft is leading again in this idea of co-creation. That was really sort of big last summer, where I expect it to be big moving forward, where the company's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And the internship was really looking to do that with interns. They were like, how can we empower interns? And so there was a lot of institutional faith in interns and our ability to do anything and our ability to do this, for example. And so I really love Diego and the whole internship team for making something like this happen or possible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
At Microsoft.
Shweta, what about you?
Yeah, I think Liam and Morgan both touched on this, but I think Microsoft does a really great job of putting a lot of trust in their interns and really believing in them to achieve, not just with this musical. Like, obviously, that was a huge amount of faith that they put in us, that this really kind of just like bizarre idea to make a musical, do it really quickly, and put it out to the public. And the team got behind it in every way, which was amazing. But then also I saw that in my day-to-day work through my whole summer with my projects, my managers and our team really just let the interns run. And they didn't hold us back, and they let us take the lead with the work that we were doing. They really let us have some ownership. And it was really interesting to see that as an intern, I could still have an impact in 3 months on this huge company that's frankly been around since way before I was born, if that makes y'all feel a little old. But it was amazing to see that like I could come in as a college student. I was there to learn, but I was also there to share what I knew from past experience, and to have that welcomed in every single aspect of my expertise and life experience was really incredible.
Yeah. Well, next time when you shoot the sequel for Netflix, when you get the pilot, I know some people in the Microsoft archives who can get you the Clippy costume. So hit me up. I got some connections for you.
Well, it looks like we are right about to wrap up. We've got 2 more awesome sessions coming up. If you haven't seen Scott Hanselman already, please catch him and Luann or InstaFluff over at the main digital breakout session that is coming up after this. You can find that in the schedule builder by filtering student community type or search the speaker or titles. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget to continue learning with us at the GitHub repo, aka .ms/studentsatbuild. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.